Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Big Assas. This is Scope This, and you're on a new station here on Be Terrific, man. It's a new show with your boy Big Assas. Obviously, Scope This. We're gonna be chopping it up. I got a special guest co-host coming in today. We're gonna talk to her for a little bit, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about, what's going on in the industry right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. The Met Gala thing went on a couple days ago, so we're going to chop it up about that. We want to talk a little bit about relationships and stuff like that as well. Since men and women have their own perception of why we cheat or whatever. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We also, last week, man, salute to my brother Rad One and my homie A Sharp for coming through. They had us do a great show last week, man, so we had a good one, and it was fun. I do have to realize, though, that watching my show, I've realized that the camera does add a little pounds, so me being a fat ninja is make me a little extra fat on TV. So I was looking at it. I was like, oh shit, look at that belly, a little fat. So not saying I'm about to hit the gym or anything like that, man, but you already know, man, it's something new. Obviously, it's new for me. It's TV. It's a little bit different. So we're going to work out all the kinks and have the show regularly popping and everything launched in really good for you guys real soon. I want to talk about some stuff initially before I start talking to Fire. My homegirl Firestorm is going to be in the building. We're going to talk to her for a little bit. But I wanted to talk to I read the news the other day, and since the Avengers and it's such a huge film, I haven't had a chance to see it, so don't tell me nothing about it. All right? Don't no spoilers. Even though social media hasn't helped me, they done spoiled a lot of extra stuff on me. But I read that there was an Iron Man suit. I think it was the first suit that they used for the first Iron Man movie. It was at a storage facility somewhere. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna take a guess to say California somewhere, but it was stolen. So they stole, the original Iron Man suit. Now someone said that it's worth almost $300,000, $325,000. And to me, that's bugged the hell out. Like, first of all, if it was so important and it's the first suit, why isn't it in, like, maybe the director's basement or something, or, one of the prop guys' basements? Why was it, like, stored in, like, a storage facility? If it's, regardless of, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, yo, is it a suit that people can, like, physically actually make? Because, CGI is so advanced now, and people use so much computer generated imagery, bro, that is like, do you really have to physically go out there and make a heavy metal Iron Man suit? And is it really that important? Obviously, I'm sorry. If something is worth $300,000, I'm not putting that shit in storage. Why would you put it in storage? I don't know. Like, to me, that's just crazy. Like, why would you put all right, like, I'm not putting something that's worth $20,000 in storage. So, why would you, $300,000? That's a car. Like you gonna park your goddamn Bentley in storage? You gonna leave your little Ferrari in storage? Like, I don't know. To me, it's just weird that something that possibly that valuable, that it was in storage, and then it was stolen, and they don't know where it's at. Like, so storage niggas ain't even got no goddamn cameras nowhere. I got 3 cameras in here. I ain't got no goddamn cameras at the storage facility where you're holding a suit. That's $300,000. I think that's a lot. I'm broke though, so that may be different. These Hollywood bigwigs, they're like, whatever the fuck. Like, I don't think Robert Downey Jr. actually cared, but if he did, I'd have had that suit in my crib. Like, if it's probably Robert Jr. Downey's fault. That nigga probably was like, I'm not trying to have that shit in my house. Put that shit in storage somewhere. I'm just saying, like, $300,000 for some suit that could have been sold at the next fucking 15, 20, 30 years of Comic-Con. The value would have went, I guess the value would have went up a little bit by then, but still, like, to me, it's just weird that certain props, because people sell props. Don't get it fooled. Like there's all these like Hollywood auctions and stuff like that where they sell certain props because people are into memorabilia. People buy that kind of stuff. So I get why they was holding on to the suit. I get why they was maybe they wanted to keep the suit around, you know, for like, I don't know, like photo op props, or maybe they wanted to, you know, auction it off to like Universal Studios or something. But at the end of the day, folks, like, seriously, if something's worth $300,000, you make sure that you pay attention to that shit. I don't care if it's a diamond. I don't care if it's a watch. I don't care if it's a car. You just don't put that shit in storage and then look, it got stolen. Womp, womp, womp. It got stolen. But at the same time, like the ninja that stole it had to have, you gotta have some balls, bro, because like, what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna sit there and, you know, you can't take selfies with it. You personally can't take pictures of it because one, it's stolen, two, you stole it, and three, you'll incriminate yourself. So you don't wanna have to be the one. So who you gonna show it to? And I'm wondering, is there like a crazy like black market / you know, collectibles thing that's possibly going on somewhere where this thing can be sold and, you know, cashed in for undetected? I don't know, man. It's just, to me, it's weird. Maybe it was, maybe it was one of the Hollywood tech guys. They were like, yo, fuck this. We need investment. I need something to, you know, the college fund. I need to make sure to have some retirement money. But at the end of the day, to me, it's just weird that something like this that is valuable was put in a regular storage facility. Because it wasn't no high-end storage facility, because one, if it was high-end, two, it wouldn't have been stolen. Two, they would have had cameras. Like, even if I would have, you know, come on, bro, you stole it out of a unit, you still have to have cameras somewhere. But I did see a video not too long ago, some dude living, like an apartment in a storage unit. So maybe, I guess some of the storage unit facilities ain't really like that much focused on what's going on in or what they're storing in their facilities. So I don't know. To me personally, it's a funny story to me because of the fact that the movie, the Avengers movie is out popping right now. You know, the first Iron Man movie came out years ago, so it's almost like, I don't know, what, 10, maybe 15, it had to be at least like 15 years ago. Or it's 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, and so the suit has obviously has some wear and tear or whatever. It's got some mileage on it because it's been around for 10 years. But it's just weird to me that regardless, with the movie being out and it being so funny that someone would actually have the audacity to steal this, but was there my question is, was there anything else in the unit? Was it just the unit with the Iron Man suit in there, or did they have something else and they just cleaned out the unit? I don't know, man. And, you know what I'm saying? Do cat burglars still exist? Like, is that shit even real? That people be running around with, like, black suits on and shit trying to hide it and like, you know, because we got Ocean's 8 coming out soon. So do people still do, like, the heist? Like, that shit is crazy. It's just weird to me, you know what I'm saying? And then there's some huge prop, obviously, is made out of metal. Like, how do you get that out of there without no one noticing? No one? No one. That's an inside job, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to be all Mr. Conspiracy Theory here, but at the same time, you got to think about that stuff, man. Like, it's got to be heavy. He had to have a forklift or some kind of dolly or something. You just don't, you know, he didn't jump in that motherfucker and fly away. I know he didn't do that. I know that's not what happened, man. But I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like, you know, you got people out there, obviously. Man, listen. Someone must have told this person that it was valuable, too. Because you don't know if it's really worth anything, or you really going to risk, you know, going to jail for something that might not even have, like, because, you know, without risk, there's no reward. So would you risk your freedom for something that might not even have any monetary value? I don't know, maybe that's a question for the terrifics out there. Would you risk your freedom for something that you couldn't even, like, cash in? You know, I don't know. You know, obviously people's pride and, you know, I've had people say, you know, I go to jail, I beat the crap out of somebody, fuck that, you know what I'm saying? If you step out of line, you know, if I gotta do my time, I'll do my time. So I guess that's probably one. But I don't know, me personally, Iron Man, look, me personally, if you ask me, that shit should have had a tracker device or something. Where the hell is this suit at, man? Like, how do you got this $300 suit without a light? You know, you watch all of these fucking comic book shows and things, all these espionage movies and shit. Niggas, they have a tracker somewhere, man, where they can find this shit. They got a tracking device to give me my UPS package. How you ain't got a tracker for that, man? I don't know, man. What y'all think? Because personally, to me, like I said, one, people need to be a little bit more focused about shit like that. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, Hollywood bigwigs don't care about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was probably some geek somewhere, Comic-Con fanatic or something that got wind of it. Because like I said, again, you can't sell it. You can't put it anywhere where, excuse me, anyone besides your friends are going to see the thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird to me that, you know, someone would have the audacity to go out there and steal something like a prop that big. That's just weird to me, man. That's just basically weird to me. So I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think of it. Y'all can formulate your own opinion, but I don't know. Right now, at the end of the day, you need to be focused. Well, first of all, that storage facility need to get some goddamn cameras. One. Two, know who the hell is working for your goddamn company. Like, you should know this. Because, see, that's the thing. Like, it's not about $300,000 and the prop and all of that. But now word got out that you guys can't even keep y'all stuff that y'all storage safe. So, storing safe. So, basically, that's what it is. That's killing you right there, then and there. So, you should not, in any way, shape, or form, be trying to, like, have workers that don't know what the hell they doing. Props, see? Talking about props. Talking about props. Did he just walk in with that? May I inquire why someone is coming in with this? Are we selling this? Is this
something we found in the storage unit?
I'm not picking up the Thor hammer, man. You see this? Yeah, that's why you gotta love this show. That's why you gotta love this show. I'm talking about a big ass prop, and somebody brought in the goddamn Thor hammer. Yo, this is Scope This with your boy Big Assas. Oh man, listen, let me break something down to y'all real quick. My name is Big Assas. It used to be Assassin. People want to know where my name came from, so I'm gonna run that down really, really quickly. You see? Yeah, Big Assas. It's short for assassin. Back in the days, because I'm a hip-hop artist. I'm an older hip-hop artist, so I used to battle a lot back in the days in the schoolyards and in high school and, you know, in the lunchrooms and all of that kind of stuff. So when I first started rapping, people would call me, like, I didn't curse at all. So people would call me, they were calling me Mr. Radio Edit. And then that pissed me off completely. And then I went back into the, you know, whatever, dungeon or whatever you want to call it. And I started cursing up a storm. And then I started battling everybody. You rap, let's battle. So I started battling everybody. And at one point, a friend of mine was like, yo, you killing them out there like an assassin. So that started to bring up the concept of using that name Assassin. But when I was coming up, there was so many people already with the name. There was a producer with the name in it. There's a reggae artist with the name in it. There was another artist with the same name. So I was trying to be a little bit smart and try to be a little creative with my name. So I took the sin out of Assassin and I got Assas. So that's where the name came from. And I got a huge Thor prop on my table. It's perfect for the show, I guess. If I could swing this shit, I wouldn't need a show. That's all I can tell you. I can't even pick this up myself like right now, man. I'm just, what's it called? Mjolnir? Is that what it's called? Is it Mjolnir? I don't know. I probably said it wrong. Somebody out there like, shut the fuck up. But if I had this prop, and this prop was worth $300,000, So I'm quite sure this one isn't. I would put it I wouldn't put this in a storage facility. This would go somewhere, like I said, in a basement, in a sub-basement, somewhere, you know, at one of the huge, the huge movie studios. Y'all got plenty of room, man. So I don't know, man. $300,000 for Iron Man suit, and it was the first one. That's what it was. Because I was like, what the hell made it so expensive? Like, did you guys physically go out there and put all of these gadgets and shit inside of this suit? But it was no. It's worth that much because it was the first Iron Man suit, the one that he used in the first film. So obviously, there's plenty of extra films that they've already done. A lot of extra, if you know Iron Man, that motherfucker got suits out of the wazoo. But at the same time, that's comic book life. That's not real life. And in real life, someone stole the daggone suit, which is weird to me, like I said again, because you still have to move this suit. You still have to put it somewhere. Like, there's not even cameras on the outside of the building. Like, this dude had to have a truck. He had to have a truck, man. Unless they had some, what do you call that, Creed technology where they freaking lifting things away. But he needed a truck or something. And I wonder if it was one person. It could have been a couple people. Because, like I said, it could have been like two. He needed some type of help, and three, someone had to look away, man. Someone had to be like, not paying attention to what's going on. So, I don't know, man. Like, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., the people that created the whole Avengers thing, you guys burgered by putting that in a storage facility. And salute to the guy that got it, or the female that got it. We don't know. Salute to the person that got it, because you got a prop that's worth $300,000 that you can't show to nobody but your friends. So that's what it is. All right, man, I want to get off that real quick. I want to give a shout out. I want to get the next topic real quick, and I want to give a shout out to Becky Hammon. If you guys don't know who Becky Hammon is, she was a former NBA player. She played a couple years in the WNBA, and she is now currently an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs. The reason why this is a big deal, guys, is because she just now got offered an opportunity to interview for the head coaching position at Milwaukee. Now, if you guys know anything about basketball, you follow sports, in the NBA, and obviously it's the NBA, they obviously have the WNBA, so a lot of times they keep those two sports as regards to coaches mostly separate. You do have some guys like the coach over at the UConn, Gino, who's, a male coach with an all-female basketball team. And you might find some, but you really don't find a lot of male teams with female head coaches. So this is a beautiful, beautiful thing, guys. If I had a clap button, I would have hit it. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, I'm used to doing radio. But if I had a clap button, I would clap for her, because that's an awesome opportunity. Just being an assistant coach at that high level of the NBA and learning under Greg Popovich, the Pop, you know what I'm saying? Like, that has got to be one for her to have been hired by Greg Popovich shows his forward thinking and moving forward, and women can do the same thing that men do. It's a fact. This is not fiction, you know what I'm saying? So it's dope with that. At the same time, she gets a chance to learn from one of the great coaches of the NBA. So now she gets a chance to go out there and try to flourish as the first female head coach of an NBA team, which is amazing. Like, that's just, like, understand, people, like, this is a big deal because of the fact that, we still have issues with men and women today. We still have issues that women don't get paid as much as men do in the work field. So we still have those issues. We still working through it. But the NBA, man, like, salute to Adam Silver, because as a commissioner, he tries at least his best to try to keep his organization in the now. You understand? This is 2018. There shouldn't be still restrictions on men and women in the workforce. It shouldn't be. Technically, it shouldn't be that it took to 2018 just for an assistant female head coach to be offered a job. I'm not sure, and I'm not jumping out the window because I'm not sure. I don't know if any other collegiate women's basketball coaches have been offered NBA jobs. I definitely don't know on that level because I don't follow college, as focused as I am as the pros. But just when I heard that she was an assistant coach for the Spurs, I already thought that was dope. That's a dope situation. And then the fact that she worked her butt off to let other people, because come on guys, let's keep it real. Like, most owners of the NBA are rich men that 9 times out of 10 has their own bravado on how things should be, obviously with their teams and all that kind of stuff. So the fact that she got an opportunity to work with the Spurs organization, and it shows you that the Spurs, being one of the more relevant teams out there today. Salute to my Knicks, who suck. I'm sorry, I'm a New York fan, Brownsville, Brooklyn all day, but I can't be a Nets fan. I'm sorry, I just can't. I've been a Knicks fan my whole life, but the fact that she has been considered for a head coaching job is just so amazing and dope, and forward thinking, as they would say. Forward thinking has been tossed around for the last 2 weeks so much, and to me, that's forward thinking, not what people have been, addressing as of late. I feel that's forward thinking. The fact that you're sitting here having you're having an NBA franchise, at least bringing her in to interview. Now, she didn't get the job yet and none of that, but the fact that she's being interviewed is just an amazing thing, and it shows the forward progress of what the NBA is doing. So I feel like that's a dope situation. So salute to Becky Hammon. Keep doing your thing. Keep working. And even if you don't get the job, you keep going out there. Someone else will give you another opportunity. But at the same time, salute to her, because me personally, I don't know about Milwaukee, so to say, because the market is different. You got a young star in Adonis. I don't know how to say his last name, so you're not gonna catch me trying to say that. The homie, the Greek freak, him. He's, they're part of the organization. There's a lot of good stuff. They didn't go too, they made it out I think they made it out. No, they didn't make it out the first round of the playoffs. But there's a lot of promise with the team. But the fact that you're in Milwaukee, and it's such a weird sports kind of town, Milwaukee itself. It's such a weird kind of weird sports town. So I don't know. Me personally, it might be a great fit. It might not. But just the fact that she's being considered to be a head coach is official. And the fact that she is now currently one of the assistant coaches on the Spurs is so, like I said, just that alone is dope, and is official, and is great for the betterment of us as people moving forward in progression. There shouldn't be no reason why a female coach shouldn't be able to coach a basketball team full of guys. You know what I'm saying? I think personally it'll be a little bit better because she can bring that mom factor in there, and I don't mean it like, oh, like mom, like cooking and cleaning. I don't mean it like that, but I mean it like mom, like, oh, I'm gonna hold you down, but if you don't do what you gotta do, I'm gonna put my foot in your butt. You know, Mom Dukes are like that. You know what I'm saying? Mamas will be like, oh, we're the nurturers. We'll take care of the family, but we'll real fast if you try to get crazy outside. So I think she would kind of bring that to the table. Like, yo, listen, fellas, I know y'all see me as a female, and it's all great, but I'm your coach. I'll kick your butt if you try to get out of line. We're not playing. So that's what I think she'll bring to the table. Plus, like I said, plus knowledge and experience of working with Greg Popovich, who's been one of the great coaches of the NBA over the last 20 years, man. So, you know, salute to them. Salute to the whole organization. Salute to the Milwaukee Bucks for even giving her the consideration and even putting it out there. And salute to the NBA, man, for forward thinking, because a lot of times, like I said, you do have a lot of people that are still stuck in their old ways of, you know, how things should be, and, you know, women are here, men are here, this kind of stuff. So, you know, and that's, in America, we have the engaging problem and progress of what we're trying to do with this here. At least we're talking about it. It's something that's out there. It's not, you know, in the shadows hiding. It has a lot of light. So, again, salute to Becky Hammond for, and I wish you the best. I want to answer that, but I kind of came off really crazy. Okay, let's see. But I can't. That's the thing. My screen got this thing. It says, let's cross this one off your list. Yeah, there's something going on my screen, so I can't answer. And he said, slow down. Bro, I can't slow down. You ain't watched the show? This is the first time watching this show. Ladies, how am I supposed to answer that? Ladies basketball, real sport, or locker room banter? Ladies basketball is real sport. Basketball is a sport. What does it mean? Like, you don't think any NBA and WNBA ladies are dunk on us right now, bro? I don't, you know. And NASCAR's, man, I'm a little confused by who's in the chat room. So, I am not gonna finish referring to what's going on up there. Because basketball is a sport. I don't think it would be locker room banter. Like, how's it locker room banter? Oh, my superpower from last week was be invisible. I was told that being invisible would be one power that would lead to, you know, being a villain. And me personally, I think any of those powers would lead to being a villain if you're going to be a villain. I don't think, yeah, my superpower last week was being invisible, man. I kind of, you know, I'm a fat guy, right? So for me to be invisible, that'd be fucking amazing. Moving through the shadows, they don't know what's going on. But I hear what people say when they say, oh, well, I would do all types of, like, wrong things. And that's like, well, that's because you're a fucking douchebag. No, but at the same time, if you sit here telling me that the first thing you're going to do with your power is do something bad, then I don't know, man, because, you know, who's to say that the minute you get some money in your hand, you might not be thinking about doing something wrong, something off the chain. NASCARs are going to the right. New look on an old sport. I don't know. I don't really watch NASCAR. Not too big on NASCAR. I love cars, but you know, it's my whole perception is the same thing. It's just I've never been a fan of like the race car thing. It's dope and all of that, but at the same time, it's just you're just going around a lap, time and time again. It's also the same thing. I don't do race horses. I don't do that either. I don't do race horses and stuff like that. And they ask, is golf a sport? Of course golf is a sport, but it's a single player sport. And, you know, there's a lot of relaxing that goes on in this sport, but it's still a sport because there's still injuries. You hear what's going on with Tiger Woods. He's had plenty of plenty of back surgeries. He also had, Phil Mickelson also played this weekend, and he kind of looked a little old in age. So I don't know. Like, I think, some of these cats should be joining that, the old PGA tour. What was it? Was the senior tour, I think, maybe? But golf is a real sport. It's just not, it's a real sport, but to me, it's not a sport that's accessible to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be part of some sort of club, of some sort of tradition, or some sort of thing to actually be a golfer. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, maybe they need to push that a little bit more towards the youth now, because a lot of kids, if you get them early, then you can get them to become great, because you got Jordan Spieth out there. You got these Rory McIlroy. These guys are young and they're playing golf, but like for the aspects of this show, it's a little different. I told you I'm from Brownsville, and unfortunately ain't too many golf courses in Brownsville. There's basketball courts everywhere. There's football fields. There's more baseball fields. So growing up in New York, growing up in Brooklyn, there's so many, there's definitely sports. I'm not saying that golf is not a sport, but I feel like it's a single person sport, and it's a little bit different. You have to be a little bit more be given the access to golf courses and stuff like that. So it'll be a little bit more, excuse me, it'll be a little bit more harder, like I said, for, kids like me, what I'm saying, to become golfers. So it's still a sport, though. If you can get hurt in it, it's a sport. I think rodeo is a sport. Actually, no. There have been, because someone asked me, do I know of anyone from Brownsville who made it to the NBA? And not necessarily. I do know years ago, one of the guys, Fly Williams, I think he made it onto an NBA roster, and he had a chance to do something, and he didn't cash in on it as well as he wanted to. I also had a friend who his family member, I guess his cousin, ended up paying he played for, I think, Minnesota. He played a little bit for the Timberwolves, I think, but it's definitely not that many. There definitely aren't any guys now that we know from Brownsville that is in the NBA like right now. Stephon Marbury was from Brooklyn, but he was from Coney Island, so it wasn't officially Brownsville. So yeah, we definitely have a lot of people that play basketball in Brownsville. I just don't see too many, because see, I come from obviously Brownsville, and Brownsville is one of the, I don't want to say the worst neighborhoods in the city, but it's definitely a low income area where a lot of stuff happens. So a lot of kids' minds get put away quicker and thinking about college and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Do I prefer the NBA or the NCAA? All right, now that's a great question. I personally, I'm more with the pros. Football, basketball, baseball. I don't knock the NCAA. I just feel like there's just so many, teams and universities that it kind of makes things a little weird and hard to follow. Like, at least with the NBA, there's 32 teams. NFL, there's 32 teams. Baseball, probably more than 32 teams, but it's around that. College basketball and collegiate sports, period, is, I don't know, maybe 150 to 200 universities. So it's kind of hard to stay focused on that. I do watch the March Madness and all of that, but only once it gets to the the Super 16, because it just gets to a point where it's like, oh God, it's just too much teams. Do you like any amateur part of the NCAA? Yeah. Oh, but you don't like the amateur. No, I'm not saying that they amateurs. Please don't get it wrong. The only reason why I say the pro level is just more or less of them. I guess the fact of them being, you know, much more marketable and out there in with sneaker deals and commercials and stuff like that. In the NCAA, these guys are more the future of the NBA, but there's a lot of people that don't make it past the NCAA, and they're just student athletes that end up, you know, becoming, you know, following their major and going through there. So it's at the same time, it's not the amateur part of it. It's just that there's so many people that get, you know, it's only a handful of people that become big in the league, and people that you end up following, like Anthony Davis. I was paying attention to him while he was at Kentucky going, and I saw a lot of documentaries of him when he was doing his thing early on. So you get a chance to follow those people to the NBA and see how their careers are. So that's what it is. It has nothing to do with being an amateur part. It's just, I'm just more into, it's a little bit more intimate because it's not so many teams to pay attention to, basically. My guest should be arriving soon. I know that traffic in Jersey is crazy, so we're trying to figure that out now. Yeah, I got it. You got to lower your mic, bro. Because I hear the double feedback, so it makes me, you guys understand, I am a little nuts as it is. I am a creative, I make music, I do a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm already crazy as it is. So when I hit a double bag, it kind of gets me a little wild. That's my control room, and that's what happens. We handle stuff here. I also got a story about Amy Schumer, and before I even get to any of the story about Amy Schumer, before I even get to her, she did a movie with Goldie Hawn, and I think it's called, I forgot exactly the name of the movie, but it is fucking hilarious. It's one of those like sleeper comedies. So salute to her. She's been on the come up. She's been doing a lot of good work. She's a very, very funny comedian. But I forgot the name, but it was hilarious. Yo, bro, like, usually we don't promote any of that crazy stuff, but there's a part where she had a titty out. It's hilarious. I'm not trying to get too crazy, but it's hilarious. So if you get a chance to see it, it's really not about what being funny, because there's a lot of, you know, a lot of tourists experience, you know, a lot of stuff going abroad. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. So basically, this movie was a play off of that, and they weren't really trying to be funny on the fact that things are happening to tourists in different countries, but it was just, you know, a play off of that. So they basically got abducted. So it's a little bit about that. So it's actually really funny though. So before I even get into that, y'all go check out that movie. But supposedly she was I think she was doing a show. She had a show, and she had she thinks she kicked somebody off the set, or yeah, like that's what I'm saying. There was a show going on, somebody else's set, and she basically not bumped him off, and she did a 10-minute set just to do it. Was she drunk or something? I don't know. Was she drunk or something? Yeah, right? Like, it looks like, I don't know. I mean, she took over the show, and it was cool. Obviously, she obviously felt Homeboy wasn't doing his thing. Homeboy probably was trash, you know what I'm saying? He up there, no one's laughing, the room is dead, and she felt it up to take it upon herself. But I don't mind that. But she killed, right? Supposedly she did her thing. So if she did a thing, then that's kind of cool. But at the same time, did she take away the light from Homeboy? And that's the thing too. We don't know the story. Like, was her and Homeboy had their own thing going on, or maybe it was a setup, man. Maybe it was set up, because you know people do a lot of stuff for publicity. But I don't know. According to the report, she did her thing. She stole a set and she killed. So if she killed, then they can't be mad. I can't be mad at that, bro. I know you might feel a certain kind of way, Homeboy, because it was just set and all of that. But I can't be. I don't know. I just can't be mad at that. Like, I feel like that's funny. And if you're a comedian, you should be. I don't know. Like, I guess you want your set. I guess you want to do your own routine, but she came up and she did a thing. I guess that's kind of cool. Has that ever happened in the hip hop world? Yeah, that happened on the hip hop world, man. Where you been at? Little Mama not bumped off, but she got on stage when Jay-Z was performing. She just jumped on there and was rock. She wasn't part of his set. She from Brooklyn and all, but she felt like, yo, Brooklyn is everything. Brooklyn, we here. And I'm sorry, like, that's my thing too. All right, and these celebrity, she would have never bumped off Jay-Z and took the show over. She just jumped on stage, so I guess it never happened that way. I guess, no, I've never been bumped. I have never been bumped. I'm too fat to get bumped, yo. Ain't nobody bumping me, man. You see this dude? I'm an unstoppable mass. Like, nah, I'm just saying, like, I've never been bumped. I've also never had my set cut short or like they turned the lights on me or something. I've never had that either. But I've had plenty of performances where I've been heckled. I also had a performance where, this was a good one. I had a performance where there was a female in the crowd, and I get up on stage and I start my mantra and talking about how I'm Big Assas, don't make fun of my name. I've heard them all, Big Assas, all of this stuff, ass. Like I've heard all these names, obviously, but she's up there and I'm giving her, the quick little rundown. I'm from Brooklyn, I'm repping here, salute to the DJ, and she's like, shut the hell up. Just get to the music. So she's going off. And I'm still talking, excuse me, and I'm still talking my little boast, about the beginning of the song and all of that. And then boom, the DJ drops the music. And she goes from hating on me. Like, oh, get your fat ass off. What the hell is this fat, ugly dude doing? You got glasses on, you look stupid. She was going on. And as soon as I start doing my record, this woman jumps on stage, makes a split, and starts twerking on my set. So, instead of kicking her off or bumping her off, I incorporated her to the show. Fuck it, yeah, work it. Because it's like, 5 seconds ago, she hated me. 5 seconds ago, she like, what the hell is this fat dude doing on stage? And then she heard the music. She saw I was getting busy. She just had to start twerking. She had to bust him wide open for a G, I guess. I don't know. It's just funny, but I've never been bumped. I've got plenty of show stories, though, man. And I got plenty of show stories about getting on the road, man. If you're an artist and you out there and you're hitting the road, man, this is my best advice for you. Be aware of all the intangibles. You know what I'm saying? Be aware of all of the stuff that you don't think is going to happen. Because that's when stuff happens and you got to learn how to think on your feet. You got to learn how to think quickly sometimes. So, that's basically a good one there. But I've never been bumped. And I don't know why Amy did what she did. I want to read up a little bit more on the story, maybe see if I can find an interview with her, maybe talking about it, because like I said, maybe he was not doing his thing. Maybe he was up there and he was sucking and she was part of, because comedians have their own fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Their own clique. So maybe it was a spot that she felt like he just wasn't doing his justice, or maybe it was a place where, they hold tradition high, so they're like, nah, man, you're not going to be up there blowing this up. Or maybe she just felt like putting herself, extra light. Because nowadays, trolling is a profession. You can make money for trolling. You can become famous for trolling. So I feel like maybe that's probably what she was trying to do, give a little bit of light, I know he wasn't paying attention to what was going on and stuff like that. Maybe her last movie didn't do as great. Well, she had a couple of movies that she just finished dropping. So I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe she just felt he wasn't doing it right. And she was like, yo, hell, let me show you how to do this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it was. But I've never been bumped off the stage. I've had plenty of performances where I was on stage with other people and I almost killed myself. I've almost fell off stages, but I've never been bumped. No one has ever like got me up and was like, nah, son. You know, I never had the, as they would say, the Apollo clown come out and you know, take me off the set. So I guess I'm blessed with that one. But I don't know. I guess Amy was like, yo, look, bro, you're not doing what you got to do. I don't like how this is going. And, you know, go over there, give me 10 minutes, and let me finish. Let me show you how to do this. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it was at the end of the day. I think she personally was like, yo, I ain't got time for this shit. I ain't got time to be listening to this. Hey, listen, I'm sorry, but I know, and I'm not sure of this, but I kind of know that alcohol has something to do with it. You know, two for drink specials. You know, when you're famous, you kind of get things on the arm. So maybe there's a little bit of alcohol going on, and she was like, this guy sucks. Because for real, like, I don't know about, well, and I like I said, I don't know many comedians, but I feel like comedians should be at a, you know, they got, like I said, they have this fraternity, and they should know, like, this guy, you know, if you know, because everyone bombs. I know that's one thing that they all share. Like every comedian at one point bombs, and or the material just don't hit. And I guess that's probably what it was. Homeboy just wasn't doing what he wasn't hitting, and I guess she felt like, yo, let me spice something up. Because if he was doing a great set, I don't think she would have went up there and bumped him. It's just my own personal views. Like, if you see someone getting busy and they're doing their thing, you kind of don't want to jump into that and just, you know, I'm not too sure about anything else, but I do know that comedians have a certain pride with each other. So it could have been hate. Like I said, she probably didn't even like this dude, or he probably did something, or he said something, or he didn't acknowledge her, or something happened, but she definitely gave him the boot. And she basically got him locked in and rocked out and all of that stuff. So it's just kind of funny to me that she would sit there and be a part of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she personally did it on purpose. Is there any unspoken rules for hip hop performers? I don't think there are. I don't think there are any, like, cause that was a good question. I don't think there are any unspoken rules. But there's certain things that you should know as a performer. That's what I feel. Like, you should know certain things as a performer. You should know where the steps are at. You should know how close you are to the edge of the stage. There's certain codes when it comes to hip hop performances as well, because codes, you know, people do know certain things. But, you know, like, it's certain tips. And look, to be honest, there aren't any really, you know, ain't too many places out there that they show you this. Like, this comes from learning. This comes from doing a bunch of shows and knowing that maybe your mic needs to be lower, knowing that maybe you need to keep your mic close up here or whatever, or, you know, maybe, like I said, you learn that through experience, though. You learn that from doing shows. No, it's not really people out there giving people information. There's, like, unwritten rules, like, and they were unwritten. They're not really unwritten no more. People don't do what they used to do back in the days. Like, you don't like, if my name is Big Assas, you can't come out as Little Assas unless you part of, like, my team and you like my little brother or something. But nowadays, you know, you got 21 Savage, and then there was some dude out there calling himself 22 Savage. It's just, you couldn't do that before. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't do that before. That's more new age stuff. So even if there were unwritten rules, I feel like today no one even pays attention to them anyway. I've never had to diss anybody on stage. I get a lot of love. I might, you know, 2 weeks ago, my boy Fly Ty was up here calling me a hater. I have plenty of people that say I be hated. That's a fact. I've had people say that, but I've never had anyone, like, I've never had to diss anybody or diss. Don't get me wrong. I've had performances where people have taken it personal when I was up there doing my 1-2, because I do talk trash on some of the records, and not necessarily trash, but it's part of the records. Like, this song is about being right and stepping your game up. There's a lot of cats out there that aren't doing it right. So that's where that comes from. But a lot of times, at the end of the day, a lot of unwritten rules and stuff like that don't happen like the way it used to be. Like a lot of the rules or the stuff that people actually took pride in don't apply as today. So it's a little bit different. Because like one of the biggest things, and obviously this is from back in the days, is not obviously today because everyone's writing for somebody. But you couldn't be an artist or a rapper and call yourself anything along the lines of great if anyone was writing for you. You know, like as a rapper, that's all you basically have. You don't get paid for production. You don't get paid for, you don't buy the studio. You don't get paid for that. You get paid for writing what you write. And if someone writes that for you, now you're just, and I don't like to use, I like to use the word a lot, but it's not a really good word, but basically you're just a puppet. And a lot of people, what do you mean? Blah, blah, blah. And technically it is, because you're just saying or singing or reciting what someone else wrote. That person is gonna get the check when the royalties come around. All you get a check for is your being on stage, you being the front man, you being the puppet. So, that was really huge. And it's still, to me, it's still, like, I don't care how old I get, how, I guess old or whack I might sound, no one's going to ever write for me because I've been already instilled in the writing. So no one's going to ever write for me. Like, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying being in a room full of MCs and thinking that you putting stuff together and that, people give you insight. That's different. But I mean, like, you taking the complete credit for what I wrote, the complete credit for what I did is different. That's like, that's like me painting something and then giving it to someone else and then letting them make all the money and reaping off the benefits. I am not going to make no real money off of this. That person is. That person can sit there and tell you, I didn't paint this. Such and such did. And they will still get all the money because it's all up under their stuff. It's not under me as an artist or whatever. So to me, like, that's one of the biggest, like, to me, that was one of the big rules of hip hop back in the days. You just didn't let anybody write for you. Like, especially if you were trying to sit there and say you were the king of the whatever. If you were the king of the West Coast, king of the East Coast, king of the South, king of the North, king of the hood, king of this hood, king of Brooklyn, king of Queens, whatever you wanted to be of, people couldn't write for you. But nowadays, everyone's writing for everybody. So, it's different. It's definitely a different thing. But my co-host is here. She finally got into the building. So I'm going to bring her in a little bit and we're going to chop it up. We're going to talk about, I don't know, I guess there's a couple of stuff we're going to talk about. I'm also going to ask a couple questions about, the stuff I've been discussing over the last hour or so. It wasn't supposed to go this long, y'all. Sorry. But shit happens. Is the beautiful thing about TV. Sometimes you got to learn how to work magic. And sometimes you got to learn how to do what you got to do when you can. So I got my wonderful, wonderful guest co-host in the building, Miss Fire. You look over there. That's one of your cameras. This is one of your cameras too.
I have many.
To the people.
Hello, everyone.
How you
yes,
doing?
I'm great. How are you?
How have you been?
Wait, where are my shades? Do I need to have shades on?
No. You don't need to have shades. I'm actually going to lift mine up because I was told a while back, well, not really, my first 2 episodes, when you're having a conversation with someone, you should eyeball to give them so they can feel like you're connecting with them.
Exactly. So, and you don't have anything to hide, right?
No.
So you always look somebody in the eyes.
I got plenty of stuff to hide, but ain't nothing to hide here. Not on the show.
We
Definitely not on the show. So how you been? How's everything?
Good.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Yes.
And I know you've been busy.
It's been a while, but life is good.
Did it pop up? Did we give her Miss Fire? Did we get the Firestorm thing up there? Can we get that up there? Anywhere, we got it. We got it.
You got me now.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Definitely.
So you got all that good sports talk out of the way because Well,
no. It was sports talk, but it was of the new. It's about Becky Hammond, who's in a female assistant coach on the Spurs, and she just got and she just got an offer to become a head coach.
Oh, awesome!
So she will be the first female head coach in the NBA.
Of all male.
Yeah, of all male basketball team. So that's why it was. It's dope because the NBA is thinking somewhat forward. You know, it's still very male driven. Don't get me
Definitely,
wrong.
yeah.
But at least they're saying.
But is she going to get paid the same amount that her male counterpart?
She might not get the same
then
amount
that's a
because
problem.
she might not get the same amount because of the stature. Like she's definitely gonna make the meaning. She's a new coach.
Right.
Whoever was the coach before was already there a couple years.
Well, she should have his starting pay.
Yeah, that she definitely.
We gotta make sure that
she's
she
definitely
gets
gonna
his
have some
starting
sort of starting pay, which
good
is
for her.
definitely up in the books because she's still a head coach.
Yeah.
It won't be. The asterisks don't get up there just because she's a female. It's like head coach.
But do you think like the players will really like?
I think
give
they
her
would.
like the same
earlier.
respect that they would give a male coach, or I mean, like, are
I
they
think
gonna?
they would because she can bring that whole mom thing to the locker room.
But see, wait,
meaning
but
like,
that's the problem right there.
Hold on.
Why does she have to come in being the mom? Like that's a problem.
Not really, because these coaches they have to watch these kids.
But they're
they
not acting like moms.
But that's because they trying to be big old. That's why they trying to be dad-like figures. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But she can be the mom, and not in the aspect of that, but she'll come in and be like, I'm going to be the nurturer. We're going to have some fun. But if you violate, I'm going to put my foot in your ass.
She
you know
needs
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
the ass kicker.
That's what I mean in that aspect. It's going to be like, you know, get me
them
wrong.
on their, get them at the top of their game. And, well, the Spurs, I don't know if they've had a championship.
No, well, not recently.
Okay.
But she's under Greg Popovich, who's been one of the greatest coaches in the NBA over the last 20 years. So she's definitely coming from a dope system, a great system, where obviously she was the first assistant female head coach. So even their organization is trying to move forward. They're thinking, at least because we've been hearing forward thinking and thinking forward for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's been tossed around in a different way. Me personally, like that's forward thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
Us moving in a direction where everyone is equal, not backwards. So that was it. But you know, that's what I was talking about with the sports. But at the same time, you know, people were asking me because, you know, we get the beautiful terrifics to hit us up. They can also ask us questions and stuff like that. And they'll tell us. And we can respond. We got my friend, you know, the wonderful people in the back playing the, you know, keeping my ear informed with stuff. So that's kind of cool. But I wanted to ask you, Amy Schumer was just, was in the news where a male was up there doing a set, and she bumped him off and took over the show.
Well, because women rule. That's why. Bump.
This is now scope this with Firestorm.
Keep it going.
But to me, that's what I was saying. I was like, because you know, comedians have some sort of fraternity. They have their own certain, and they have their certain kind of rules and stuff. So I don't know. My thing is, maybe he wasn't up there doing his job. Maybe he wasn't killing.
Amy, come on, like.
But that's what I mean. So
she's Amy.
And I get it, but at the same time, like people said she did her thing too. So I was like, I don't know. Would that be attributed to her just saying maybe he wasn't doing his thing?
No, because I mean, you got to look at the caliber of the comedian that she is, right? She's like, you know, I mean, if we look at her compared to,
she's up there.
Yeah, so.
But that's what I mean.
I guess she figured she can put on a better show and look better doing it. I don't know.
I know she can definitely look better doing it. I know that. And you know, I was saying because she had a really funny movie with Goldie Hawn not too long ago.
Yes, I saw that one. Is it Snatched?
Yeah,
is that Snatched?
There you go. She got it. I can't remember the damn name. I was gonna call it Teresa or something like that, something totally different. But it was so funny. But the topic itself isn't funny.
No.
You know.
No,
so that's what I kind of like about it. That it's a serious topic.
Right.
People are having sort of, you know, things happen when they travel abroad. But it was so funny. Like that movie was hilarious. It was like a sleeper funny because, you know, you don't get these, obviously Hollywood, they don't put out the same energy for certain movies.
Right. But like, if you know her, then you know like her movies are always funny.
Yeah.
And then you look at her compared to people who think that they should be paid the same amount of money for their Netflix special. We won't mention any names.
We won't mention any names.
But she really commands the the
She is
money that
funny,
she
though.
that
like
she
she
gets.
is funny, and that's what I don't want to just say she's funny because everyone's
She
like,
is right, yeah.
but she is hilarious
She is.
as a comedian. She does a great job, and I love the fact that she's comfortable in her own skin. In this day and age, it's kind of
And I
hard.
love
like,
that. I love that. We need more women like that. We need more men like that who are just okay to be the way that they are, and they're good with it. And
You know, I feel like, unfortunately, the beautiful thing about TV, you know, because I was telling him earlier, I said, man, I saw the other shows, and I think I might need pounds of like
No,
there,
you're
but
good. You're
me
good.
personally, I'm different. I was always comfortable in my skin. When I was younger, I was a twig. People don't believe it. That's why I got pictures. So I got pictures. But then, like, I've always been comfortable in my skin. I guess it's just
I wasn't.
me being me.
I wasn't, and I was skinny, and I was like the tall girl, and you know, just straight up and down. You look sideways, you miss me.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I began to fill out. So
Yeah.
that was a great thing. But you know, I wasn't comfortable being, you know, tall and having like, I'm a big girl and I have size 10 feet. So
Yeah.
you know, at 12 years old, that's a problem.
People are
Because I've been the same height though.
Kids are cruel.
I have been the same height. I'm the same height that I was at 12.
Which is?
I'm not telling you my height.
You're not
No.
gonna I didn't say your age. your
No,
height.
my height, no. Listen, I'm 6 feet.
She's taller than
I'm
me.
6 feet
and
in
I'm
heels.
not 6 feet. That's it. She's taller
But I
than me.
always
and I'm
wear
not 6
heels
feet.
though.
Oh, all right.
So, but yeah, but
Maybe
that
if I
can
wore
be.
heels.
It can be.
I'm just saying, in height wise, I'll probably be stacking up.
But that can be, you know, when you're not comfortable in your skin, especially as an adult and you get older, and then there's so many things to compare yourself to, and social media is the worst, right? And we're adults, but kids growing up in today's times, that's why
It is
so
the
much
worst.
depression
It is the worst.
and
But at the same
suicide.
time, oh my God, it's such a double-edged sword to me, because it's like you can use this platform now to become something.
But you have to be stable mentally first, and your security has to be
I think people
intact
today
first.
is just like mental health and mental stability is something that's so huge today that people still don't speak of.
Yeah,
And I feel
still
like
taboo.
yeah, it's taboo,
Very.
and especially in the Black community. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
definitely.
It's just much more easy to be like, oh, that motherfucker crazy, than to like actually sit there and
he's,
try.
really crazy.
But it's even I've even now I have a friend who's been suffering through some stuff mentally. He's on medication and he hasn't had a chance to get his medicine
Oh, no.
in a little while. So he's
Oh,
been
no.
it's been a little of a loose cannon.
Yeah.
And I saw him outside. I'm talking to him, and someone walks by and goes, "Oh, why are you talking to that drug addict?" You understand? And it was like off
They
the rip,
already
like,
have a,
automatically made that assumption. Like,
Yeah.
this is a friend of mine. I've known him for years. He is not a drug addict. He's just not on his medicine, and he hasn't had his medicine in almost 3 months. So if you're a person that consistently needs medicine, and then you ain't have it for a while, you start to go, you kind of spin out of control, and people
Yeah.
put their perception on it.
And
real
see, they
quickly.
shouldn't, because guess what? We are all an incident, a paycheck, somebody pushed me the wrong way moment away from being crazy, right? So.
Well, us as creatives, people that create things, we already a little
yeah,
off.
exactly.
Already a little
Exactly.
off,
I
so-
love my little bit of crazy.
Oh, that's the whole point. That's what makes you. I
Yeah.
feel like that's what makes us authentic. That's what makes Big Assas Big Assas. That's what makes Firestorm
true.
Firestorm. That because you have to be a little off to think
Outside the box.
outside of the box, and the thing around it is
Kanye.
yes, that guy there though. See, there's a difference
Yeah.
of how far you can go.
Yes, there
And
is.
you know how they have.
He jumped off the ship.
Yeah,
like,
but you,
he's just
you,
in
yeah,
the
but
water
you see they
swimming
have
and
that.
nobody's
You know how the
seen.
parents have that little string for the kids now, so they
Whip 'em
can't get
back,
lost.
just
Pe-
snatch 'em
Someone
back.
should have had a string for him to pull him back.
Well,
in
that's
to reel
supposed to be
him in,
Kim, but
They needed
I
to
don't
reel
know.
him in. Me personally, whoever, they needed to reel him in, because I don't have an issue with his stand on political views. We have plenty of our celebrities who support who are conservative, whatever. They support the Republicans, or they're part of the Republican National Party.
but again, I don't even think like it's a Republican thing. I think that it's a Trump thing, right? And I think it's him saying, putting Trump in a positive light that people are just with them, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily that, right? Because to me personally, like, Trump has already, once he became president, with all of the stuff that came before he became president, people were already on the fence of him. With him.
Of course.
And then when you have someone who has definitely impacted music the way Kanye has, it's not an issue.
And it's so supported by the African Americans.
By the African American community. And it's just, to me, like, for him to go out there and be, because again, we didn't force him to go to TMZ.
Right.
We didn't force him to go to any of these media. And that's what I kind of hate when people, oh, let the media tell it. But the media wasn't chasing him down.
Right,
He came
exactly
to the media. So when you start up a shitstorm, you need to learn how to deal with it.
Well,
so I don't know.
Yeah, then he put some of the shit in his mouth with the whole slavery remark. But we just gotta pray for Kanye, right?
I guess so. I guess you guys pray for Kanye.
Exactly.
He's on my shit list for the rest of the time, and I don't care. I've had my own personal issues, because that's the thing. Like, me personally, we live in a day and age where there's just so much talk, but no one's doing anything.
That's so true.
Okay, so I kind of get mad when people have power, influence, and money, and all they doing is talking.
Yeah.
And to me, that is all he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even if he's, because you people, oh, he's opening people's minds. He's just talking.
Yeah.
He hasn't created anything besides music.
Well, he created the song after he supported Trump that was supposed to, but no.
Was it supposed to? But that's the whole thing. As far as music, I'll take his advice.
Right.
As far as everything else.
What about fashion? Do you have a pair of Yeezys?
No.
You don't?
Don't own a pair of Yeezys. Don't. I don't.
I'm not a sneaker girl.
No, but it's not even that. Even I'm a sneaker person. It's just like those ugly sneakers ain't worth $500 to me. Like, that's what it is for me too.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's the thing too. Like, that's also another issue for me. Like, most people that listen to you are not part of the well-off group. So when you go and make your product more for the well-off people,
and you have these people who can't afford
doing
things,
who looking to you
yeah.
and doing things to get it, it's just, I don't know, like, when it comes to him and his like, for me, I'm old school, right? So we come from kings and queens, right? We came from power, right? And if you look at all of the old organizations and all the old people, what did they do to leave a legacy behind? They built monuments, they built buildings, they put their names on structures, right? Buying Vogue or buying whatever magazine, even if it's one of the biggest things, and you just being a black, that's not gonna solidify your legacy forever.
Not forever.
So that's my thing. Like, for him to want to tackle that instead of tackling something that's more realistic along the lines of the Kanye West wing at Cornell.
Or open up the Kanye West school.
For production in Chicago.
But what I do admire about that move, though, is that he, his line is under Adidas, isn't it? Okay, right.
Well, the sneakers anyway. The clothing line is totally different.
Right, well, the clothing line is all his, right? So he didn't partner up with another, Versace or Armani or something like that. He created his own line. So I kind of admire that business aspect, So
no, I get it. I get that. But to me, that's what I'm talking about. Like, why
having your own?
Why are you putting your own money into fashion when you know that there's other things you can be putting this money into?
In his mind,
But that's what I'm saying. You see what I mean? Yeah. So that's my thing, though. It's like there's other ways to make money. There's plenty of ways that, especially when you have influence.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't feel
network,
like
that would be cool.
why isn't he just dropping back? Like, if you haven't noticed, hip hop has already stepped away from their own clothing lines. We done shut them all down, and we done went back to supporting these big name brand lines. Like, if you really trying to do something,
we need to bring back the Kanais.
Yeah, the Kanais, the Echo Reds and all that kind of stuff. Like, why didn't you breathe life back into Rockaware?
Yeah, but you know what?
Stuff like that.
I think that culture, that part of the culture is kind of, it went away, right? These young kids, they're not going to buy, they're going to look at FUBU and like, what, who?
Of course.
That's not for me.
But that's
they want to get the Supreme and all that other stuff.
But why is that?
Yeah.
These people now are talking about this. If these people were now to go back, like
Migos, like have Amigos have a real, clothing line or something like that.
And that's what I mean. Like you need to branch off and do some stuff. They get the bling. and then remember, all of these clothing lines are giving them shit for free.
Yeah.
So they're not even paying for that $300 belt buckle that we're running out there killing ourselves to get. And I just feel like it's certain things we should stay away.
People, priorities. What's in your 401k? You got that house? Priorities.
No, like I said it before, like I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful in any aspect, but to me, morals are a poor people thing. Most people that have money, they have certain levels of morals, but they also have the, I don't give a damn what anyone says or anyone thinks. You know what I'm saying? With most people that come from poverty, we're spending all of this money so other people can think we're fly. We're spending all of this stuff so other people's perception can be better of us.
Or we're not
on
spending
social
it,
media going
and
crazy.
we're not spending it, but we posing in front of the nice house and the this and the that,
But
just to keep the, living for likes. I call that living for likes. Like, look, be smart. If you want to be an Instagram model, get your money. If you're gonna do it right. Get an app. I admire Kim and the Kardashian sisters for that. Get your own app. Have some stuff that's just for your app so people can purchase and subscribe to your app and get your own emojis. Do that. Think big. Instagram is free. You're living for likes, people.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, if you had because that's the thing. If you had power, money, and influence, and you had an opportunity to do something, what would you yourself do it? Because would it be towards empowering women? Would it be towards, or would it be towards just people in general?
Well, I don't have power, and I got a little bit of money, but not a lot of money.
Yeah.
But what I did was I started my own nonprofit called Daddy for a Day.
Okay.
And my focus is on the urban family. 4 out of 5 homes don't have fathers.
That's true.
So I create events that keep the fathers engaged with their child. So that's my big thing. I grew up without my father. Yeah. My father was not in the home with my mother, and it was hard. Yeah. It was really hard.
No, it was. See, I came from a background where I had both parents.
Good.
My dad passed away when I was 24, so I at least can appreciate that I had him for that. I had him for that time. And my mom, she's just as crazy as I am. So we're like, I got her attitude. I'm my mom in the male form. So
cool.
She's still my rock. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Mother's Day is coming up.
Yeah, and it's coming. Obviously,
That's
salute
right.
to my mama. Mother's Day is coming a little early, but yes. Happy Mother's Day to you as well, obviously. But I just feel like, again, when it comes to Kanye West, he could have used a lot of his influence and money to do things a little bit differently towards people of color.
Yeah. Or
you know what I'm saying? Because,
something
like I
in
said,
general that's going to help, that's going to make a difference.
And
the Yeezys aren't going to make a difference. And his 5 albums that Kim claims he's working on, that's the reason why he wasn't on her arm at the Met Ball. That's not really going to help anybody.
Yeah. I would like to ask you too about the Met Ball, right? Because
I didn't go. I didn't get my invitation.
She didn't get an invitation. She should have. She should have. What y'all doing?
Next year.
Asking questions. I'm sorry. I didn't even read whatever. For instance, when they hear new songs, all right, that's a little different. That's a little faster when we talk about. But we'll get back to it.
Here's this one. Do you think younger people have a lack of music history or understanding? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They don't know where they don't know their music history, and that's a problem.
And it's not even music history. They don't even know when their sound became significant.
Yeah.
They don't even know when they got hot. Like this new sound got hot, and that's to me what kills me. I don't care about anything. If you don't want to know my history, cool. But how you don't know yours?
Right.
How you don't know when y'all officially got started? When y'all this transition of people doing this type of sound, this type of clothes, these type of hair dyes. When did that officially start? They don't even know that. So to me, yes.
And they're not looking for the information. They're not like, they don't have a hunger to know like who certain hip hop artists are, or the hip hop clothing lines that was out back. Like they have no desire to learn that stuff.
And that's what makes it a little rough at the end of the day. But the Met Gala had Cardi B there. The Met Gala also had
with her belly and all.
Nicki Minaj there.
Yeah.
And there has been.
I heard that they spoke. I heard that Cardi B said she was over it.
I heard that it's cordial, but at the same time, like, would that have been the same interaction if she wasn't pregnant?
I think so.
I kind of feel like there was
think no.
I'm gonna make it look good because.
No, I think that Cardi B she's making herself bigger than this whole because it can't. I mean, look, Nicki Minaj changed her lyrics on the motorsport song. She changed her lyrics when she heard that Cardi B was going to be on the song. And then when you listen to her verse, it's like, oh, I mean, she's throwing some shade in there, clearly, right? But Cardi B is just taking a position that, guess what, I'm bigger than this. Because I'm sure she looked up to Nicki Minaj, you know, before she
I don't know,
became,
like, that's the whole thing. I don't know, like, with Cardi B, she's an amazing
I love her
attraction.
Climb. I love her climb.
I don't think that at any point in time she actually was even thinking about this music shit being serious at all.
Yeah, or think that she can even have the success that she has now.
I don't know about the thing. I just feel like, to me, at the end of the day, with her being huge and Nicki's trying to come back, I think it's just all the time, it's just society that is always pitting women against each other.
Right, and their music can be loved by all, right? You don't have to jump on one side of the fence. You can like both of them. You can buy both of their albums. You can go to both of their concerts.
But that's the thing. As much as we sit, because a friend of mine was sitting in the same spot where you at and saying, oh, there's a lane for everyone and everyone can eat. But technically,
you may be in a Cardi B mood one day and then you want to flip it to the Nicki Minaj mood.
You can't though. In this day and age, just so much. Like, you are either Nicki or you are either Cardi B. You can't be both.
I say we can have it all and we can do it all. That's what I say. We can have it all and do it all. You can be Cardi B. You could be Cardi B in the afternoon and turn it up. Nicki Minaj at night.
I feel you. See, me, it's a little different because I come from an older era when it comes to music, and it's more or less like, if you ask me because when Nicki first came out, I was excited about her, but then when she started doing all this extra stuff, I started saying, man, like, because you have to realize that when it comes to lyrics and still having substance, Cardi B has none of that.
No,
like, when it comes to like what people are used to.
Right.
And
I don't even know what she's saying half the time.
Some of the stuff, and don't get me wrong, it's great music for what's going on now, but in this day and age, people only last a year.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why are we making such a big hoopla for someone who might not even be here in the next year or two?
Well, I mean, I want her to be successful. I want her to grow as an artist, right? And Nicki Minaj has to understand that, guess what? That crown was worn by another queen of hip hop.
It's so funny because
so
eventually
everybody has their time. You make the most of it while you have that crown on your head and you get your money. Like, that's what I would be focused on.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, even with Cardi B being here, that ain't had anything to do with Nicki Minaj.
Right, she's not. That's not stopping her paper, right?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
People make it, like, obviously make it a thing that make these people actually talk about what's going on.
I think that goes back to the origin of hip hop, right? Like, when a new artists would battle back in the day. You know, whoever was hot was the reigning champion. Like, that's what they did before the record albums came out. They would battle for money, right? So I think that's there, and people can't get away from it, unfortunately. I mean, hip hop now is just global, and there's so much money out there to be made. People just need to stay in their lane, do what they do, and get their money.
To me, that's what the most difficult part, though, is because, look, every artist out there will sit there and tell you that they would love the check and not need the fame. Everyone. But there's some of us out here that want to be in front of the camera too.
Yeah. Right. There are a lot of artists. I mean, a lot of artists that they will perform, right, just for the fame. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's your talent, it's your skill. Why shouldn't you be getting paid for it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't fall, right? You shouldn't fall in love with the fame without the money, because I mean, you can be a street phenom.
But think about it. We already are falling in love with the fame. we follow all these artists every day. We mimic what
Well, I
they
mean-
do. We don't have the stature that they do, but we
Right.
still mimic it.
But-
So when you get to that point, it's hard to reverse it now if you was already a fan of what.
Right, but if you're an artist and you've been a
it's
successful artist, and you know you jump on stage just for the fame, you need to have that business partner, that person that has that business mind.
I got knowledge born.
That
Salute
says,
to my
hey,
homie.
listen,
Yeah.
look, my artist will perform for you for a fee,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to make sure that you separate the love of what you do from the business
Of
part.
course,
Not
you have to.
everybody can do that.
You have to.
So
I don't know. Me personally, at the end of the day, there's tons of because like I've been doing this for a long time. I've been a little successful. I haven't been, over the top, and I still tell people today that I'm gonna be that 80-year-old guy still rapping. Like I don't even care. Don't get
what's
me
gonna
wrong.
be the name of your album?
$4 cookies and no Wi-Fi. That's what it's gonna be called. But no, I don't mean that. I don't mean that I'm gonna be 80 still trying to, make
Put an
music.
album out, right? No, but that's a
I'ma
hobby that
still
you
be
enjoy.
doing it at 80.
Yeah,
I'ma
as
still
you
be working the
should.
mentals
Exactly.
out because that helps with the mind
You
as well.
should.
You know
You
what I'm
should.
saying? But in this day and age, I feel like we are making so much hype. Like even like Cardi B is dope, but like I said, the longevity, it's almost like football players, 1 to 3 years. Nicki has been around a little longer. So she already established a fan base. She already established the thing. So
Exactly. She
for
should not
her,
be concerned
her
about a
run
Cardi
should be
B.
much more longer.
She should not be concerned about a Cardi B. That's just how I feel.
That's what it should be. But I feel like these social media outlets and all of that, they made it more of an issue.
Well,
Because
she made it more of an issue in her lyrics. When
you think it was just the lyrics?
listen to her
I don't think
lyrics,
it's the
she's
lyrics. I
coming for
think
Cardi
it's-
B in that song.
I think it's more or less, at the end of the day, it's what today is. Like, all right, like, how many movies come out in a year?
I don't even know.
Hundreds.
But I know in
But you
August,
only-
you guys better check out Hood Pranks in August, okay? Yes, shameless plug. You guys better check out Hood Pranks. Okay,
In
go.
August.
Shout out to the Hood Pranks team.
Yeah, let them know there. Let them
Hood
know
Pranks
there.
team.
There you go. See?
Find it, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Okay, go.
But there's tons of movies that come out. But people like us or kids in the urban areas, they only get the movies that come out on those big commercials. Those big, huge movies.
But that's the problem.
So that's the thing.
But that's the problem.
That's how most music come out too. They
But
put it in that same aspect.
People
now.
have to look for more. You have to research and you have to expose yourself
just
to
don't look for nothing.
things that
That's what
are,
I'm saying.
You know, BBC TV,
Yeah.
things like that. Like you have to go outside of just what people are just throwing in front of your face.
Yeah.
That's just what I believe,
No,
right?
that
and
is what
parents
you're
need
supposed
to
to
do
do.
that with their
But-
children. Expose your children to more.
It's just like a kid will tell you now, if I don't hear you on 97, you ain't hot.
Yeah, because I'm on. I don't know any other radio station.
No, I feel you, but that's what I'm saying.
Right, exactly.
This is a lot of people's mindsets.
Yeah.
Like, you don't exist. You don't got movies. I didn't see a commercial on TV. So
Yeah.
that's how people. So at this day and age, if you go, Nicki shouldn't have any concern with Cardi B. The kids are like, what are you talking about? Cardi B everywhere. She need to be concerned because she's the one winning now. It's also still something that's perception.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know if she really is winning. Most people aren't
So it
winning.
all shows in the bottom line when it comes to those record
Yeah,
sales.
that's what I mean.
And
Most
those
people
booking
aren't really
fees.
winning. They're
Right,
making
they're
money
fronting.
off of everything else. You know, you got artists that are the biggest thing in music right now, and they only sold 12,000 units of actual copies.
Yeah.
They're just streaming a lot, and you still need
Times has
100,000
changed.
streams for one span.
Times
Is like
have changed. Different technology has definitely forced the music industry to kind of change.
it's all microwave now. It's all microwave.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
just, I just feel like at the end of the day, like we should, even when you try to balance things out, there's always someone out there trying to tip the scales. So, like I said, Nicki versus Cardi, I like it in a sense because when rappers are beefing, you write better. Because you know that this person is paying attention. So you know, it gives you a sum of edge. When Nas and Jay-Z...
You want them to write better. That just
No,
takes
but
me
a lot
back
of times
to
they
Remy.
still fight though.
Yeah.
They still try to put it up. Like with Nas and Jay-Z, like at that point, before they started beefing, both of them had shitty commercial records. And they were all over the radio, but they were shitty records. You know, Jay-Z had
Jay-Z could never put out a shitty record. I'm sorry, Brooklyn, Hove, okay.
All right, so hold on. So that Diamond song was a good record?
Listen, was Jay-Z on it?
No.
Was Jay-Z on it? If he was on it, then it was hot.
Was that a good record?
Yes.
At that point
it
in
was
time,
bumping in my car.
Him and Nas, he had that, and Nas had "Shorty You Owe Me." These records were not
both hot.
Where they
okay,
at.
they both were hot, but Jay-Z's was hot.
If you threw on The Takeover, and you threw on Ether, you were like, "Oh, these records." So that's what I mean. At the end of the day, you know, for when you in a
But it's good for record sales. It's good for record sales, right?
I don't know. In this day and age, it's weird.
It is. It's good for because listen, as long as they're talking about you, right? As long as you are, you know, they have great publicity from it. I mean, well, it's not great, but
it's not always great.
It's not great,
it's
but listen, as long as people are talking about you, you're popping. When they're not talking about you, you ain't popping. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know, but I like the fact that you're like, oh, Jay-Z, that's what's up. Yeah. And I'm not mad at that. I'm from Brooklyn too, but it's different.
All day, every day.
It's different. I was a Nas fan way before. Sorry. Same thing though. Like I love the Knicks. I can't be a Brooklyn Nets fan. They're in Brooklyn. I just can't. It's not, you know, it's not a knock on the organization, but I'm a Knicks fan. Right. We suck too, but you know, I was like,
hey,
you got to stick to your team sometimes. Unfortunately,
I don't have a team. So.
Like at all?
Well, my son loves Chicago Bulls, so I'm kind of behind him
now?
on that. Well, he's just a Chicago Bulls fanatic because of Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan,
so
all right, well.
He's Jordan everything, he's Bulls everything. So I'm just kind of, you know, supporting him.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You Bulls, I get it. But I just feel like, you know, growing up in Brooklyn, you know, you've been around, you know, had to pick something, so you know what I'm saying. Jay-Z was the way she went. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that at all. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, because you know this is the first show that I've actually had a female on.
Really?
And, yeah, because this is only the third show.
Oh, I was gonna say something, but I was told that we can't talk about certain things. So okay, so I can't say what I want to say though.
Yeah,
but I'll just look. I'm the first.
Yeah, she's definitely the first. Definitely the first on here. And I wanted to, you know, get into a little bit about, you know, you have so many people out here you have people that are pro interracial relationships, and then you have people that aren't. And, you know, recently with the racial tension that's been going on in this country, you got people Childish Gambino, who just finished dropping a really, really
I saw the
controversial record.
I saw the video.
Yeah. And
it's a little scary. Not the song. The song, love the song, but just those moves.
That's it.
The no shirt.
I said the same thing.
Okay,
people looked at me like I was weird.
Is he serious right now?
So
like
she said it, and I don't feel
gotten
bad.
Some things right before he did what he did, but you know, it was cute. It was cute. My son was cracking up, but it was cute. And listen, for me, when it comes to love, love knows no color.
That's a fact.
So I just feel like people are free to love who they love. Sometimes they can't help it, and we have to respect that.
But that's why so many people are coming at him now, though. Because they're like, oh, you doing all this, you're speaking up for your culture, yet the woman on your side is definitely not part of that culture.
But she doesn't have to be.
No, but people, you understand, like I said again, people feel like if you're totally this, then you can't be that. No. And a lot of people get caught up into it. And I agree on certain things when it comes to that.
Like, they have to really, we're in 2018 now, right? There's no one coming to arrest somebody because they're sleeping with a white woman or, you know, people need to stop.
But that's what I'm saying.
And worry about what goes on in their bedroom.
His not explanation, but his, when people asked him, he said, according to him, that when he tried to date black women at that time, they wasn't digging his nerdiness and his...
Probably.
You know,
probably.
And I saw a post not too long ago where a female actually did confirm. She was like, you know, most black chicks don't look at dirty guys.
See, they should, because that's who got the paper.
But you see, at the same time, you don't know who's gonna end up with the paper. But off the mindset already, this guy doesn't look like a basketball player. He doesn't look like a,
he doesn't look like he has swag.
Yeah.
He don't walk like he has swag.
Yeah,
like,
so
you know. But guess what? Somebody out there was checking for him.
But did they really check? That's what I'm saying. It's like,
And she's like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You
because
can keep on hating.
You freed him up for me, right?
Yeah.
He was available. And, you know, so that's sometimes how love works.
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that loud and clear. It's just to me that it's just kind of weird that some people at the end of the day will sit there and say, you know, that's
shallow.
That's like if I see Dr. Umar right now with a white woman, it'll be like, yo, bro, Radio Raheem all over again. But at the same time, I can't knock him if, like you said, if he found love and whatever. But it's kind of hard when you sit there all day talking about this. Right? You're so pro, you know, because a lot of people automatically assume that once you're pro something, that there is no way for you to be, you know, thinking anything else.
Well, shame on us, right? Because again, love knows no color, and who are we to judge someone for who they love? Right?
I hear that, and look, I love what you just said. Who are we to judge? Exactly. But we've been judging people since the beginning of time.
We gotta stop.
So how the hell can we stop this now?
We gotta stop because it's getting played, people.
That's what I mean. Like, I hear people say it all the time, but you can't stop it because having an opinion is forming a judgment.
It is.
So it's kind of hard. Like, I'm cool with this being good, but I don't got a problem with this. So you can't. And it's like, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Even when people give you knowledge, they still being judgmental in certain aspects. No?
Well,
I think.
Yes, but in this case, I just think that, you know, we can't control and we can't, you know, pick who we want someone to be with. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I would multiply with her for sure. Oh.
Yeah, you got the trolls.
Firestorm, find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and all that other stuff. Oorag. Do you have a do-rag? Oorag.
But yeah, so yes, there are trolls. People are tuning in to pay attention. Salute to y'all. Ain't no disrespect on y'all. I'm just saying we're not going to be bringing up topics like that on this show. Period. So, when you are a black entrepreneur, you have to be on your, I don't know what word to put this, because you get labeled quickly. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, then people consider you not for the people. And if you're not trying to do anything for the people, then people sit there and say you're not supporting the community. And there's so much people that go, we should support black businesses. We should support black things, right?
I'm just a fan of giving back. Like, if you have it, you know, again, if you have it, and even if you don't have it, you find a way. Like, if you have skills, you have the resources, maybe you don't have the money, but you know people with money, you know, give back to the community, because you can change someone's life drastically. And that's the best feeling in the world.
It doesn't really take much.
Doesn't take much. It does. I did a daddy and daughter dance, and I had a dad come to me who came from Atlanta just to spend time with his daughter just for this dance, and they brought tears to my eyes. They were so happy that I put the event together so that she could spend time with her dad. Like,
you see, and that's
something
the thing.
So simple.
People don't even realize. Book drives,
hunger drives, food drives. I mean,
you know,
soup
a
drives,
bake sale or whatever. Just something
do something for the
Around.
community. Just give back. If
people don't, I hate them. I hate them all. I hate them all. People like
you have to give back.
And it's just
it's very rewarding. It really is.
I tell people that all the time. Like, if I was to become rich and famous tomorrow, it ain't just for me. It's like I'm trying to help so many other people out.
Right.
It's not just me, but people like, but then you have people that have an opportunity, and instead of doing it the right way, they go along the wrong route.
Well, you know, again, sometimes you block your blessings like that, right? I always say, be a blessing to someone else. That's what I say.
If you can, like my whole thing is,
and it doesn't have to be monetarily. Like, you can do something for someone. You can, if you have a skill and you see that someone doesn't have the know-how that you have, but they're in need, help them out. Give back. Pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
I love that.
You don't want somebody to help you out eventually if it's for a business deal, if it's for, some type of opportunity. You're going to need someone's help. So you want to.
People feel like a lot of times that they don't need.
Oh, but they do.
Help.
But they do.
It's the same thing. Like I was having this discussion not too long ago with a friend of mine. It's like you have to realize that in the same way that the stadiums are hoping people come in and fill up the seats, it's the same way that artists hope that people come out and fill up the seats. Mm-hmm. So you also have to realize that if it wasn't for the people, you wouldn't have shit.
Exactly.
So I don't think no one that runs into any type of monetary value should have any right to sit there and say, I don't want to help someone.
Right.
I shouldn't help someone. I don't need to help someone. Oh, now that I got this, everybody coming out the woodworks. Everybody want money. Listen, everyone's going to want money. I'm not going to hand out money to everybody. Right. But I'm looking to hand out jobs.
Can't do that.
I'm looking to hand out jobs. Yep. Like I'm looking to put you in a position to help yourself make money.
Exactly. Teach a man to fish.
Exactly. I'm not just feeding people to fish. Right. I'm going to teach you how to fish.
Exactly.
It's just... But there's so many people out there that get to a point, like, you got, and there's plenty of celebrities that donate to charities, but that's a tax write-off. You're not doing it out the kindness of just your heart no more. Like, it's just to do it so people can say something about it. Well, and I see people out there every day that aren't even rich and are out there trying to do stuff. Mm-hmm. It kind of hurts me, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm saying, listen, if they're writing checks just for a tax write-off, we'll gladly take your check at Daddy for a day, okay? We'll gladly accept any and all checks. We're trying to do our daddy and daughter dance this year, so please cut them checks to us.
Cut them checks. Make sure to cut them. Make sure it works. Shout out
Gokin.
Gokin, please.
Okay, Gokin.
Gokin.
What's up, Gokin?
What's up?
We see you.
We see you. I don't see you. You see me?
We see you. We see you there.
You see me? Bro, you up there. Shout out to Gokon.
Gokon, yes.
Is that a Gokon?
You know what that sounds like? A character. It sounds like one of those anime characters.
It is. Big.
Oh, it is?
It's really close. On Dragon Ball Z, the guy name is Gohan.
Oh,
so
yes!
It's really close.
That's why it just looks so familiar.
Yeah, it really is.
Shout out to my 12-year-old.
There you go. Shout out to the 12-year-old. Giving mama the tidbits so she can know about Dragon Ball Z Super. Y'all already know. Y'all seen those episodes. I'm not crazy. But to me, that's also cool, too, because we're in America, supposedly land of the free and all of that. But I love the fact that growing up in in New York and in Brooklyn and being in New Jersey, you get a chance to see the melting pot.
Oh, yeah.
You get a chance to be around so many people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in different states, they don't experience that.
They don't. They really don't.
Because they're so used to, smaller country town livings, and that's cool.
Areas and
yeah, being out there.
People of color anywhere, and so.
We exist, folks. We're everywhere, but it's just. I feel like at the end of the day, there's so much that we can do that we still try to deny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like
lots of work to be done.
There's tons of work to be done. And first of all, we need to open up most of those lines of communication. Mm-hmm. Because that's a lot of times people don't get a chance to realize that. Like 2 weeks ago, they're talking about Dragon Ball Z Super, sorry. 2 weeks ago, the show got out of hand where we were not out of hand, but we were both screaming at each other, so you couldn't hear what was going on.
You can only sing together. You can never scream together. That doesn't work.
But what I was trying to explain to them was that this is a barbershop banter type show. So if you've ever been to a barbershop or if you've ever been to a nail salon where the conversation is thick, you might not get a chance to say something. You might not get a chance to get your point across.
You got to learn how to speak so that people can hear you.
You got to learn how to maneuver your way through the dealing with
that.
Right. That's how I feel like what's going on with people now.
Nobody's going to cut my hair.
No.
Okay.
Nobody.
It's a barbershop. Okay.
No, you're not. You're good. It's just barbershop banter. Just the banter. Just the discussions that go on. So, all right. People have posted this to me before, and we're almost toward the end of the show, so I want to chop it up with you with it. But You're in a great relationship, and we're not trying to blow anything up. But
I am?
And I'm just saying, you have your 12-year-old son, and you love
my
you.
son,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yes, my son.
But we're not trying to blow anything up. But in your opinion, oh God, shots fired. There you go. If you're not paying attention, but in your opinion, when it comes to male and female relationships, and is a lot of, and in your opinion, why do men cheat? In your opinion.
Well, women
What do you
cheat
think?
too.
That's I'm gonna give you my opinion
Okay.
on why I think women cheat. That's what I'm saying.
Well, there's different
It's-
reasons. People cheat because 10 times out of 10, they probably shouldn't have been in a relationship to begin with, right?
That is true.
You know, a lot of times men don't like to be the bad guy, where they know, like, I really don't want to be with her, but I don't want to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So they will continue to just string that person along. And I'm sure they're getting something out of it, but, or a man will cheat because they get tired of the female, or the female gets tired of the man, or they cheat to upgrade.
Yeah. I feel you. I don't necessarily. I see it as.
And I'm like, if you have to cheat, just leave. Like, if you're not married.
But that's
if you're not married,
you get that frame of mind when you get older. That only comes with wisdom.
Wow.
When you're younger, you don't want to.
But if you're not married, right?
You're not locked up. You're not tied down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
There's single, and then there's married.
Yeah.
And there really isn't anything else.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
In her opinion, which is understandable. I get it. Me personally, I think it's two options. Sometimes men cheat because they've never had an opportunity and an opportunity arose, or they're consistently getting thrown opportunities. Meaning in the aspect that
if you're Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, exactly. Hello.
Okay, go.
But at the same time, it's like most people will tell you when you single, nobody wants your ass. You're not beaconing out there where everyone wants to see you. Most of the time, the minute you say, "Oh, I might entertain this person," now everyone come out the woodworks. "Oh, I'm madly in love with you. You're my biggest crush." And it's like, so I feel like a lot of times when guys have an opportunity to be real with themselves and be real in the situation, they kind of tend to fold in because it's like, well, I'm not used to this. And then all of a sudden it's here, and it's like, you don't want to be that guy. Like, you know that when you were single, the beacon wasn't lit, wasn't nobody coming to find you. So I understand what you mean.
Well, nobody wants somebody that nobody wants.
But how does that make sense? How's that logical?
That's just how it is.
But that's what I mean. Like, when I'm by myself, when I'm open for the taking.
But is that by choice? Like, when you say you're single, do you become single by choice, or are you single because you did something?
No. Well, it's more or less, me personally, is by choice. It's because of the music.
Okay.
The music. I just can't have someone hitting me up on a Tuesday night asking me where I'm at.
You're at the studio.
I would be at a show, but people be like,
a lot goes down in the studio.
Who does a show
we
on
know
a
about
Tuesday
them studios
night? No. So that's also what it is for me. Like, and then at the same time, I try to stay away from that because I'm around so many, I guess, with beautiful people from the opposite sex.
So you know that right now,
automatically,
or whenever this is, you aren't relationship ready.
It's not relationship ready. It's just I'm actually relationship ready. It's just I have to find a person that fits in that relationship. Yeah, because that's what makes it hard. Like, I need someone that's just as busy as I am. So we can, when we make time, boom, it's special. We run towards it. But I can't be sitting at home 5 days a week and you out and about running around 6 days a week, and it can't be vice versa. I can't be running around leaving you in the house, whatever. So that's what it is for me. It's more or less like I'm single now because of the music situation, but it doesn't mean that I'm not open to changing that situation. But when you by yourself, don't nobody fucking want you. So how the fuck are you supposed to do things? Like, so how am I supposed to just
when she's for you, she will be for you and you only.
I hear that.
So you keep doing what you do.
That's awesome.
And she will find you.
She will find you.
She's gonna find you.
The beacon. She will find you.
Exactly. Keep that beacon lit.
Keep that beacon lit and you'll be found.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's just so weird because I've had many females tell me the same thing. Don't nobody want nobody that don't nobody want.
Exactly.
But it's like,
It's just like when you bring a female with you to the club, right? You bring a bad female with you to the club. That is going to get you more attention at the club. Why? Because women will look and say, he's with her. They're going to vet you by the woman that you're with. Okay, well, she looks together. You know what? He must be about something. That's what women do.
But that's odd to me because there's niggas in that same club doing the same thing. Like,
they don't want.
She with that nigga? Hold on, man. Now I gotta step my game up because if she. But then that's automatically what you assume. Like you assume that you're better than me, so.
Exactly. So then
you should be able to swoop in.
Exactly. That's what women do. Women do that all day, every day.
I don't know about that, guys. I'm not a lady. I can't answer that.
All day, every day, women will do that.
But that's a woman thing. But. So that means that at the same time, y'all can create the demise yourselves, no?
Well, I mean, the thing is that when you come to the club with a female, you want to make sure if you're actually seeking someone in the club, make sure that the person you're with isn't your significant other, because the women will be on you. They will look, they will play the eye tag, they will walk past, they will, check you out from afar. They will try to get your attention to see if he gives me his attention, then he's not really into her. I just one up that bitch. That's how women think.
But that's how, and dudes have that same aspect too. It's just, I feel like for them is you're the downgrade instead of you're the upgrade. You see how you said, oh my God, she's beautiful, so he might be about something. He might have. So you putting me in a positive light.
Well, that's how women think when they see. But again, they are vetting the man. Based on the way the woman looks. They're checking her out from head to toe. Okay, them shoes. Oh, okay, that bag. Okay. Well, that must come from him. What they sipping on? What they drinking on?
Why would that be that?
Because that's how women are.
Really?
That is just how women are.
Is that a good answer, y'all?
I'm just saying. Is that a good
answer?
I can't explain it.
I don't know.
It's Firestorm. My Instagram is PHYASTORM. Firestorm.
Yeah, they should have put that up on your knowledge. You fired. I should have been up there.
I think. There you go, Firestorm.
There you go. He said, I heard that they did it 3 times already. Well, I didn't see it, so you still fired.
Fired.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like it's very, very hard to maneuver around that because most guys are not going to bring someone that's not their significant other to the club.
Not true. Not true. I know a lot of guys that do that.
Well, then I need to talk to those guys because they maybe I should bring them up on this show and we can have that because listen, I've had co-hosts that have been very beautiful. I've been at shows with them, and I've had people give me the dirty look, thinking that was my significant other when it wasn't.
Females.
No, guys and girls.
Okay.
I get them from both sides. So for me, it's a little weird because this person isn't my significant other. And you automatically assume that. So if I'm bringing someone who's not, who's to say they're not going to automatically assume that?
I think it depends on the type of event, right? I think that's very important. Like
a club situation compared to an event.
Networking event.
Networking is a little bit different.
Yeah. Because if you bring someone with you that's not your significant other, then they can see, whoever's watching you, you're around, you're talking to other people, right? So they see, okay, well, he may be with her, but he's not with her, right? And you can go around and speak and talk. So depends on the event.
I don't know. It's like I've always been told you don't bring sand to the beach. Obviously, your homies be bringing sand to the beach
so you can get better sand.
Better sand.
So you can get your sand.
Get your sand. That's crazy. Maybe I need to start hiring some people to come with me to the parties
bring
and
your
stuff. Because I don't
posse.
got no friends. I ain't got no real friends anyway. Because it's social media friends. I don't got friends that come out no way anyway.
No.
Yeah, well, I'm also very much of a hobbit myself.
Okay.
So I kind of don't encourage the thing, but I've had people tell me, oh my God, you doing a show today? And I'm like, yeah, it's been putting it on my Instagram for the last 7 days.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it. You lying. You liked it 6 times.
Yeah.
So it's just people, they like to see shit from afar.
Friends.
They don't really like to be, they go, oh, bring me up to the show. And then I'm like, yo, can you make it? Oh, I can't. I don't know what to do this.
Yeah.
Why are you fronting?
You gotta watch people like that.
According to Fire, bring sand to the beach.
Yes.
You might get better sand.
No, gonna get your sand.
Oh, you'll get your sand.
You get your sand. You'll get sand that you can Put in your own little shovel, your bucket, and bring it home with you. Your own sand.
I don't know. That's some new thing, but that's a new tidbit from Firestorm. But we're almost out of time.
Are we?
So yeah,
it went so fast. I had so much fun.
It's a 2-hour show. It runs from 7 to 9, and you got here a little late.
I did. I was in the Holland Tunnel.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, last week I drove in. I left Brooklyn at 4:30.
Yeah.
I didn't get to Jersey, like out of the Holland Tunnel, till 6.
Oh, it was
so
crazy.
It took us 2 hours just to get to Manhattan.
Yeah,
it was like,
it's crazy.
So
especially
it
on a
intense.
Friday around the time that I did leave. Everybody's trying to like get out for the night.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't think about all of that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't put all of that in the function when I decided on Friday. I decided to do the show Friday because it was a little late. Plus, I have a regular job that I have to do, so until I can really start falling back from that
Nothing
job
wrong
and
with
focusing
having a
on this,
regular job, right? Yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to the 9-to-5ers.
I'm a working artist. I'm not a struggling artist.
That's right.
Get that shit right. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Exactly.
But I thought of Fridays, but I never pictured traffic. And literally, I'm like in the
New York City traffic is the worst kind of traffic.
Yeah, and
it really is.
We're in it, so.
Yeah.
But give people a little bit more of what you've been doing with the Daddy and Me Foundation.
Daddy for a Day.
Daddy for a Day.
You can find us on Facebook as well as Instagram, Daddy for a Day. We're working on our next upcoming event, which is going to be a daddy and daughter dance. I also am looking to do a breakfast for dads and sons and actually the whole family, right? Because I want to make sure that I don't like exclude moms and sons, right? But it's Daddy for a Day. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I'm not really into. But
you lying.
I'm
you
not.
got the little rose pictures
No,
everywhere.
I don't have
you
that.
got the bumblebee
wait,
things.
that's called the thought filter,
I don't know what
right?
that is. I
With the
have no
roses,
clue
that's
what
called a thought
Snapchat is.
filter.
Oh my God! You see, like you.
I'm not a thought, at least not today.
Well, look, you one step ahead of me. You already knew what it was. I don't even know.
But yeah, so it's Firestorm, Pyastorm, and I'm also working on a great project. It's called Hood Pranks. It's going to be a movie release through AMC nationwide. So make sure you find us on Instagram and Facebook and look for the movie coming to a theater near you.
Really? Is it really what the name is? Is it really just Hood Pranks?
It's pranks that are creatively thought out and it's very raw and edgy.
Yes.
And it'll
You said
have
Hood Pranks, so that means there's going to be some dudes that didn't know it was a prank. And he probably tried to swing on someone. Yeah.
Where it is going to leave you on the edge of your seat, but then you'll fall back laughing so hard.
Awesome,
so definitely look out and support.
Definitely, man. So look, let me put my shades back down. Interview time is over.
I
Big
feel like I need
Assas
some
is
shades.
back in the building. I'll get you some shades. I got you. I definitely got you. It's just so many people give me. I get there are people that are into them, and there are people like, take them off. So the people that are interested in getting them, I got you. Don't worry about it. I had a bunch of different colors. I'll make sure to make it out for you.
You need some shades to hide your eyes every now and again.
Well, listen, man. At the end of the day, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. I don't want you looking at my goddamn soul sometimes.
Right.
How about that?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But no, I want to thank my guest, Firestorm, for coming through. I also want to thank the Be Terrific family for allowing this fat motherfucker to get on air for 2 hours and just yappity yap. So thank you guys again. Join and follow the Be Terrific page on Facebook. That's Be Terrific on Facebook. At the same time, you can follow me on Instagram. That's Hip Hop in the Flesh. That's HIPHOP_INTHA flesh, because I'm illiterate and I like to spell things differently. And but I'm not like everyone else, because I'm a hard-headed person. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Sino Music. That's SINOMUZYK. Everybody's like, oh, my social handles on everything. Well, I don't like following the norm, folks, so my social handles are different.
I'm consistent across everything.
Consistent. Firestorm. So I would love to bring you up any other time when you really got free time.
Yes.
I would love to, hopefully I get another guest. Knowledge, God damn it. Hopefully I get another extra guest in the building so he can chop it up and we can interview him together. And again, it was a pleasure. Thank you so
Thanks
much
for
for
having
coming.
me. Thanks
I
for having
greatly
me.
appreciate you being here. And salute to all the Be Terrifics, man. I'll be back next Friday. I got a very important guest. Again, she told you on Instagram, we watched Dragon Ball Super. And again, salute to Becky Hammond, yo, assistant coach for the Spurs, who's getting a job opportunity, at least to be interviewed for the Milwaukee Bucks head coach position. So salute to you.
The Bucks or the Spurs?
For the Bucks. She's an assistant coach now.
Oh, okay. So
on the Spurs.
Oh, nice.
She's already an assistant coach, but she's getting a head coaching, at least an interview at Milwaukee. So
she'll get it.
Let's hope so. Wish you luck in
girl power.
Girl power. The show's over. Salute to everybody, man. But again, if you want to follow us on the Be Terrific page on Facebook, it's real easy. Or you can get the Be Terrific app. It'll be kind of cool. You get all the info. You get all the check out all the shows. And when you want to live stream, it'll take you straight to the website. So you already know what it is. It's your boy Big Assas. This is Scope This, and I'll be back next Friday, y'all. Big out. Peace.